Hi, I'm Suzanne DeVinny, and I work in environmental services, and part of that department is our laundry. And it's come to my attention that people are interested in what we do. Our laundry is open 8 hours, 7 days a week. We serve about 140 residents with personal clothing and 200 plus sometimes with regular linen. You can look around. This is not your grandma's Maytag. When we start doing our personal linen, the first thing we do, one of my great people back here goes to your mom's room or your dad's room and picks up their soiled clothing out of a white hamper. That being said, we put it in a mesh bag. Soiled linen is then taken care of with a big safety pin and a water-soluble sack. When we have enough poundage, we will put it in one of these large washers. We wash several residents' clothing in one load, but they're all in individual bags. We are required by the state to have very, very hot water, 160 degrees, and that is mighty hot. After the clothes are washed, we take them out of the bags, put them into a dryer, male and female, so that we don't mix them up. This is where it's real important to know you have labels on all of the clothes. When we have everything nice and clean, we take it out of the dryers and we take it back here to be folded up or hung up, depending on the item of clothing. We have clothing racks that we put the clean clothing on for delivery back to the using resident. Clothing is delivered back to the resident, either hung on hangers on a cart, separated by their name, or folded up. Little panties and socks and bras and other unmentionables get folded and put in a little bag with the name on it. We'll take it back, empty the bag out, and put it nicely in the drawers. This operation requires 10 full-time people. We staff 5 a day normally, plus weekends. People will often wonder about the cost on processing the residents' clothing. And I want to reassure everyone that if it's private pay, the biggest cost you're going to have is $25 a month. And that would be 2 to 3 times a week as needed. Now, Medicare and Medicaid pay the cost of laundering. Now, of course, all of the sheets and other bed linens, towels, washcloths, that's provided with the service, so that's a free service. So it's really a pretty good bang for your buck, $25 a month. We are also asked if we are responsible for lost clothing, and that sometimes does come up. That's handled on an individual basis. When the family comes in, the admission process, it is usually explained that we don't take care of any missing or items that may be damaged. We encourage families to bring fully washable clothing, no lace, no silk things, because we are commercial laundry. And it is, like I said in the beginning, it's not your Maytag. It is a little different. The hot water alone, 160 degrees, is very, very hot. That can cause shrinkage, and it can cause some discoloration. If you have lovely clothes, you just want to have them done in a delicate way. So the more simple, the better. Sometimes, and this will happen, we will have something untoward come in with the soiled linen. Maybe a lipstick has gotten in a pocket, perhaps a candy bar, that's happened too, and it will cause staining. We have great techniques to take stains out, but we have limitations. They won't always come out. We do not sort the clothing. Once it goes in that mesh bag, it's in there. We do not sort. We simply do, sometimes 500 pounds of personal clothing a day, it would be impossible to sort through everything. So that will result in some staining. We normally let the nurses know on the unit if something has been stained. One of the questions that does come up periodically is whether or not we can take care of dry cleanable clothing, things that need to literally be dry cleaned. We cannot. We do not have an on-premises dry cleaning operation. So anything that would be delicate or wool that needs dry cleaning, the family responsible party or the resident, if they're the responsible party, would be on their own with the dry cleaning. They would need to make some private arrangements. We wish we could do that, but that's just not something that we're set up for. One of the things that we ask families to do to cut down on things being lost or going astray is to let us make labels for their residents' clothing. We can generate them on the computer. They are then ironed on individually in an inconspicuous place, usually right in underneath the collars or somewhere where only we would see them. And that alerts us to who that dress or pants belong to. And we will do this as a courtesy for families who don't use our laundry, but we will certainly make the labels. We ask people, please, when your mom gets a new dress for Christmas or dad gets new shirts for his birthday, bring them down and let us label them immediately so that we know. That way, if we see a piece of clothing we know we don't wash for that person, but there's a label on it, voila, we can take it back to its owner. So please let us label. I can't stress that enough. One of the things that will sometimes happen, we feel bad when it happens, but it will, we'll get a call from one of the floors and we'll be told that Mr. So-and-so's laundry is piling up. He has nothing to wear. You haven't picked it up since he's been here for a week. Many times we haven't gotten a laundry consent form. We don't even know that the family wanted us to do that. What we do then is run up and do a courtesy wash, no charge, no questions, just to get clothing clean and back for the resident. Then we'll track down a consent form or we'll ask the floor nurse when family comes in, have them fill out a form, or even a verbal over the phone to the nurse is acceptable. We are technically taking property and we are responsible for it and we want to handle it appropriately. But a consent form is great. I know emergency admissions occur and families have so much to deal with in that process. But we try our best. When we get the form, we get everybody in the system. Usually if we haven't gotten the form is when it breaks down. That leads to problems, which leads to another thing. There's a laundry problem, a laundry issue. Talk to the nurse in your area where your resident is. They'll contact the laundry person. In my case, me. I'll get that call. Or our laundry staff, all of whom are so great, would do that, and we're there to help. It's just, what we do. We're here to help families. We're here for the residents. I've been around here almost 16 years. And one of the reasons I've stayed that long is because I have a small part of helping the residents stay here be just a little bit easier and a little bit easier for their families. In closing, I want to say that every facility is going to be a little different than ours. I've shared how we do things here, but I think I could speak for any long-term care facility. Laundry people, we have the best interest for you and your resident, and you're in our heart.